Hello guys, it's Tina Wilfred here again. Welcome to the channel. Today we'll be starting our Forex beginner basic sections where I will walk you through everything you need to know about Forex trading from the basics. Every fundamental knowledge you need to know as someone that is probably starting your Forex journey or someone that is just getting to hear the word Forex for the first time. And today we'll be starting with the introduction to the market. This simply implies that I will be introducing you to few basic points that has to do with the Forex market. So let's dive into it. First of all, what is the meaning of Forex? When you hear Forex, the first thing that comes into your mind, I don't know what it is, but I am assuming that it should be foreign exchange. Yes. Or let's say you don't even know. Now I am telling you that anytime you hear anything like Forex, that's like two words combined together to make up one. The foreign and the exchange. So we put it together in their short forms. That gives us what the word Forex. All right. So the foreign exchange market is simply the global marketplace where currencies are bought and sold. This simply implies the buying and selling of two currencies or the exchange of different currencies. This particular market in question is the largest financial market in the world. Isn't that fascinating? You know, when something is the largest, it is not in your continent, is not in Africa, is not in Nigeria, is not in Ghana, is not in any country or any African country or any American country you are in, but the world as a whole. That rings a bell. I don't know, but it actually makes it even more interesting because you want to know more about, if you're curious like me, you would definitely want to know more about this particular market that is the largest. So let's continue. Now, a lot of people will probably be asking in their mind why this particular Forex thing is important. It's actually important not just for individual purposes, it's important for international trade because it helps to facilitate it. Example, buying oil, paying in USD and the rest of it. It allows investment across borders. It helps businesses, it helps governments and individuals to exchange currencies. I don't know if you've ever experienced going to the bank to probably exchange your money to get dollars, or at most going to the black market. If you've heard anything like the black market, you notice that sometimes when you have something like your dollars, you go to them to change your money, right? You tell them the currency you want, and then you give them USD. They collect USD from you, they take the currency that you are exchanging with them. Yes, so it helps businesses, it helps governments, it helps individuals. It has helped me a lot, and these are the few importance of what the Forex market or foreign exchange as a word. Now you need to know that the Forex market is huge. Remember, we said that it is the largest financial market. Now, for it to be the largest financial market, over $6 trillion is traded in this particular market daily. It is not weekly, oh, it is not monthly, it's not yearly. It is daily, on a daily basis, like every 24 hours. All right, and it is usually open for 24 hours 5 days a week. I know, I don't know if you're familiar with other financial markets like crypto, like indices. You find out that these markets are usually open 24 hours 7 days a week, but it's different for Forex. You get to trade Monday to Friday and the whole 24 hours in that day. I hope that is understood. And then it is decentralized. It doesn't have any single location. It is simply global. It means that anywhere you are, you can find these markets. It is not location specific. It's not something you will say, oh, it's only in this country, and if you're not in this country, you don't have access to. You have access to this market. You have access to it regardless of your location. Okay, so there are people that participate in these markets. There are people that participate in this market. This particular market, I want you to see it as an imaginary market. Don't see it as a market where you go to buy your foodstuffs and your groceries and the rest of it. I want you to picture it in your head and just imagine the people that, because it's actually people that make up this market, like the central banks and governments, the commercial banks and institutions, the people in them, right? The corporations, the retail traders. The retail traders are people like me and you. For you that you're trying to, you're either new in Forex or you're trying to get into Forex, you are simply going to be regarded as a retail trader, because you trade you trade with your little capital, get your returns, and yeah, that's it for you. But when we talk about these bigger enterprises like the commercial banks and institutions, these people provide the major liquidity that moves the market. The central banks and the government, they influence the currency value, as you can see on your screen. The corporations, the exchange for business transactions. And then again, for the retail traders like two of us, we trade through the brokers. Maybe in another video, I will try to explain the roles of these brokers, but these brokers are the people that present that market to you, that make it available to you. So you don't have to go to the main market to know what is happening. They bring it to you. So you can access it through your phone, through your laptop, or through whatever device you have. All right. And then you take your trades, you make your returns, and that is it for that. Then we have currency pairs that are traded. Remember, the name is foreign what? Exchange. That means it has to do with what? Currency. It has to do with currency of different countries. All right. So this forex we are talking about is usually traded in pairs. It is traded in pairs, one currency against the other. That means we have the counter currency and the quote currency. We have we have the base currency, we have the quote currency. Sorry, I had to correct that. For example, we have the Euro USD, all right. We have the GBP JPY, that is the Great Britain pounds, and the Japanese yen, all right. So we also have the GBP USD, Great Britain pounds, and the US dollar. We have the USD JPY, we have the AUD USD, NZD USD, some people call it NZD. We have the USD CHF, we also have the USD card. These are the major currencies, all right. We have the major currencies, we have the minor currencies, we have the exotics, and I have just been able to list the major currencies, and I'll go again. First of all, on the list, we have the GBP USD, the Great Britain pounds, and the US dollar. We have the Euro USD, always spelled as EUR and USD. All right, so we have the euro and the US dollar. We have the US dollar and the Japanese yen. We have the Australian dollar and the US dollar. We have the NZD, that is the New Zealand dollar, and the USD. We have the USD CHF, that is that's the Swiss francs. Then we have and the US dollar. We have the US dollar and the Canadian dollar. Now in these currencies, you notice that I was able to call them out in pairs, and in these pairs that I mentioned them, the first one is usually the base currency, and the second one is the quote or the counter currency. Now we also have the minor currencies. I'm sure you can see some of them listed on your screen as well. We have the minor currencies, which That's the Euro GBP, Euro card. You already know the meaning of Euro. We already also know the meaning of card. We also have the Euro NZD, we have the Euro AUD, we have the GBP CHF, the card CHF, and the USD ZAR. These are the minor currencies. I think you should, for someone that is also interested in knowing about these, I think you should also go ahead, make more research, get to know these currencies better, get to find out what they are and how to pronounce them in full, because what you're seeing is more like the initials, right? So yeah, the best currencies to trade are basically the major currencies. That's it, because they are volatile and not easily manipulated. Some of other currencies you can come across, you notice that sometimes there are manipulations that occur, but then for the major currencies, they are very volatile. When we say they are very volatile, that means they move in speed. They are not slow. When something is highly volatile, that means it's really very fast, yeah, and then they are not easily manipulated. And yeah, I think that's it for the currency pairs. Like I said, you can decide to make few more research on this. We have the market sessions, and these market sessions, you need to understand that Forex market runs 24 hours, like I said before, and they are divided into four main sessions. We have the Sydney sessions, we have the Tokyo session, or also known as the Asian session. We have the London session, which is the most liquid. When we say something is the most liquid, that means there's usually a lot of liquidity in the market during the London session. And this London session usually starts from 1 to, of course. Then we have the New York section, usually around the London session is usually around 9, and then the New York session is usually around 1. So I'm sorry about that. And the New York session is very active and overlaps with the London section. Of course, you can also go ahead to check more on this to know how they actually work. Yes, to know how they actually work, know the timing for each and every one of them. Yeah, and that's it. So the best time to trade is between the London session, which is from 8 a.m. all right, till 5 p.m. London time, then 3 a.m. to 12 noon for the Eastern time. All right, so yeah, that's it. And then another best time to also trade is usually the New York section. Everybody have what they like most. Some people prefer to trade during the London session. Some people also prefer to trade during the New York section. So when you are into this, you get to choose what works best for you. So why do we trade the Forex market? Because there is high liquidity. It is easy to enter, and there's a trade. It's accessible. It needs just, like I said, it needs just a broker and the internet, like then your phone, of course. So everybody has a phone, so that means it's for everybody. Even if you don't have a laptop, you have a phone, and this is something that you can access using any device that is available to you at the moment. It is actually flexible. You can trade it anytime during the week. All right, very flexible. You can trade it anytime. Nobody is coming to check time for you. Nobody is going to tell you this is when you choose everything within your own disposal. We also have leverage, small capital that can control larger positions. This simply implies that with your small money, you are still very much privileged in this market, because we have something like leverage that your brokers provide you with, where you can actually trade with a small amount of money and you will still be able to open bigger positions, and these bigger positions can actually help you make more money. But you need to understand that it also has its own risk involved, because if it's easy for you to make bigger amount of money with that small money, it's also easy for you to lose your money within any slight retracement from the market. Well, you will get to know about that as we progress in this session. And of course, there is no big deal there. Everything in life is risk. Yeah, so It's all about choosing your own risk. It's not a big deal, nothing to scare anyone away, and yeah, that's it. um we already started talking about the risk involved, so this is more like even a continuation. We have high volatility. The price moves fast depending on the forex pair that you choose, like the major currencies. Then the leverage amplifies both profits and losses. I already said this even before we got here, because how fast you make profit with that leverage that is provided to you by your broker is also how fast you make losses with it at any slight retracement from the market. All right, so yeah, if you over leverage, then it's going to really affect. But the way to solve this is by not over leveraging, and then it requires discipline and strategy. If you must be a trader, then there's one thing or two things that you must be familiar with. You need to make them a part of you. You need to you need to change a lot about you. If you can change your name to discipline, that would even be the best, because that is one thing that is most importantly required for you to succeed in this industry. And then you need to have a working strategy. Yes, of course, during the progress of these sessions, I will also, or rather the advanced stage, I will also share with you the strategies that I've been using so far that has been working for me. Okay, so one thing you want to take away from this lesson is that it is the world's largest and most liquid market. It is open to everyone, but success requires knowledge. It requires patience, and it requires risk management. And in all of these, you need discipline to do all of these. I will explain some other time. And this series definitely would guide you step by step to build a strong foundation in the forex industry. All right, so there is a lot more that we'll still talk about, but this is it for this particular section, so that we don't pack a lot of things on one video, thereby making the video unnecessarily long. So like I said before, you want to stick with me on this channel as I share with you gradually, step by step, everything that you need to know, every fundamental knowledge that you need to know as either a beginner or someone that has not even heard about forex for the first time. This is the end of today's session, and I'm glad to say that we are done with this particular session. Yes. So I don't know if you got value here. If you did, I know you would want to subscribe to this channel and also hit the notification button, so that you will be the first to always know whenever I drop new videos. All right, thank you, and see you on the next one. Bye.